So you said there's no evidence to show sickness is because of GMF, but they say that
The companies do show
they,
that.
the companies are the only people doing the research.
Yeah.
So maybe if independent people can do research, they can research the correct what they want.
And I think it's because that GM foods, and because of that the researchers had a negative result, those companies won't allow other people to see it.
They're hiding. It's like they're hiding something.
Yeah.
You're right. There's no research that they can't find anything.
But there's
to say
no
this.
research that it's safe, nor it's not safe. So.
But it can be not safe, but it can be more nutritious. What nutritious?
That's another topic.
Is that a different argument, Tom? Nutritiousness?
Yes.
No?
But it is better for health.
Why? How do you know it's more? What do you mean it's more nutritious? Do you have an example of something?
Yes. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, some GM food preserve some GM food have been engineered to become more nutritious in terms of big vitamin or mineral content.
That's only some.
Okay.
But
Some is better than none.
But GMF is not like the foods that people make, not from the nature, naturally grown foods. So the vitamins that people put in can be so the vitamin from the food that grow naturally can have be more good vitamins than the people.
Scientific DNA restructure.
So scientists make more good nutritious foods, including the DNAs of just organism foods of good DNA.
Do you think it's better to eat omega-3 or to eat lots of fruits and vegetables and
But that's why GMF is invented, to give us taste and nutrition.
More easily,
Yeah.
and in more quantity.
Yeah, so to make us eat food and get lots of DNA and nutritions, not eating omega-3 all day.
Okay, that's good. Okay, good argument. Next, move on to your second argument, please.
Okay. Second, it is definitely true that GMF can feed more people.
how can you prove that?
What do you mean, feed more people, Tom?
It is more cheaper, so some poor people can buy it and eat it.
GM foods are cheaper to buy from the mart,
Yes,
or
and
cheaper to produce.
it's cheaper to both cheaper to produce and cheaper to buy. So.
Yeah. And more production, cheaper quantity.
So, are you also talking about the size of land used to produce?
But they can be produced from more small land more efficiently.
Okay.
And
So
in
also
this graph,
cheaper for the farmer to make?
yes, farmers are saving the cost of producing GM foods, and their gross margin are increasing.
Okay, Scott, you want to show that? This is a chart showing farmers' costs for producing GM food.
And also
Good for the farmer.
since they're kind of stronger to herbicides and pests, the crop failure will decrease. Chance of failure will decrease, meaning that
More successful crops every year, so
Yeah.
weather cannot destroy the crops. And also the farmers aren't spraying chemicals on them. That's good for your body.
But if it's cheaper, people who buy from the market can buy the food cheap. But like these companies, they don't show it's GM food, so don't show the GM foods, so like
These companies don't want GMO foods labeled. So why don't they want it labeled?
because they have a secret about the food.
These
And
are
then-
some big companies, Tom and Junwoo, that are
including
hiding
Coca-Cola
something.
and Hershey's and Welch's and GMO.
All big names. Kellogg's.
big.
나 돌이다 돌.
바나나.
나 돌 파인애플.
Dole Bananas.
돌 후르츠 카테.
And
Sarah Lee
Post and
They're all I know all, they're very famous
Yeah.
companies.
what's this? Land Lakes.
Let me
What's
see.
Land
Land Lakes.
I thought I saw this somewhere.
Coffee.
Coffee, maybe butter. There's Ocean Spray juice.
Ocean.
Nestle, you know, Nestle
Yeah,
is really
Nestle.
big.
Nestle.
What's the Nestle?
Coffee,
Nes-
coffee.
Nestle coffee or Nestle make chocolate. Lots of chocolates in Nestle. Welch's juice, Hershey's chocolate,
Dole.
Fruit.
salt,
바나나.
salt.
MC.
Why would the salt company be hiding from?
I've seen this.
Correct. Anyway, so there's some
So-
huge companies that don't want you to know they make GM foods.
So if people don't know about these things and only think about the monies, so if they buy the food that's cheaper, you can have like disease.
But it is another topic, I think.
No, you said that the is
More, it can feed
more people
but
because it's
because of the diseases, they might die.
Yeah,
And be
so just so you can just buy it expensive and then don't die.
Yeah, but they could have thought that there was they could have thought that if we label the GMO if we label the GMO, then people would think that this food is bad. So their this charting will decrease. So they don't. But it is actually kind of safe. But if they thought that it's safe, but if we kind of label that this is GMF, then people will not buy this because it's genetically modified. So
So
Company can just be worse because a label or
it's all about the
their physiology.
But there is not the way that the people can. The GMF is not the only way the people can buy cheap.
So how can you buy cheap?
local markets and things. I think
But
what
they're
they're
more
arguing
nutritious.
is the companies are worried that if they put a sticker on saying this food is genetically modified,
But it's
even
actually
people
safe.
who don't understand
So people
GMS will
won't
just
buy
not
it.
buy because the image is bad.
Yeah. They have a kind of like a 가치관 that
Then
GMF is
they
kind
can
of bad.
like they can sell the organic foods.
But that will kind of decrease their income.
Cost more to
Yeah.
produce.
So they want to get more money.
And
But-
then like the farmer thing, you can just if the farmer it costs less money for farmer, but the profit we don't know the profit.
I mean, what do most people want? Do people want cheap food, or are
Nutrition.
people happy to pay more money for
Eating
safe
good
food?
food. Eating
But
good food.
it's safe food is better, I think. It's like this: buying an expensive pen, or buying an expensive pen that lasts
Lasts for a long time. You
Yeah,
could
for a
buy a
long time.
cheap pen for
And
a
cheap
short
pen-
time or long. Good
cheap
for
pen
long.
that broke easily.
So there is like so like if it's cheap, it's bad, and then if
and
it's
the worst.
the worst is if it's cheap, then
Mm.
it's bad, and if it's expensive, then it has the worst about
So in English we say
person.
you get what you pay for.
But people
Buy cheap, you get cheap. Buy
Yeah.
good, you get good.
I'm
So,
saying-
and then
we're saying
and
that.
if you like buy the cheap food, but if you eat it and like have some illness, then you should pay for the hospital.
But they're arguing that their food is not bad, it's just got a bad image.
Yeah.
But maybe that's also your fault because you won't let other people do research on your food.
But people can still choose of GM and organic food. So if they want to eat cheap food, then they can eat GM food. If they want to eat seafood, they can eat.
It's true, there's still choice. It's not like GM food is the only food.
Yeah.
But organic food is a lot more expensive.
Kind
So it's not only that they're taking advantage of science and these companies are making, oh, we can make cheap food and sell lots and make lots of money. Organic companies are doing the same.
Yeah.
Organic companies are saying their food is really
Yeah.
cheap and people think it's unhealthy, so I can have an organic apple, and because people are scared of GM foods, I can make this manwon. So they're also, your organic companies are making lots of money because people are scared of that food. So the organic food prices increase too. Which
so
is
it's
not
a-
really fair. Right? Okay, good. Next argument, who's Alice?
And you still consider that these crops can have a bad impact on the environment.
So, because of these crops or animals that are that has lots of resistance to their prey, and can be easily that reproduct, so they can they can make the ecosystem really complicated, and because of that we can
upset. the ecosystem.
upset and give, and eventually somehow give us a bad impact.
But
I have very good evidence to rebut.
Okay, are you talking about the
And if
ecosystem becoming unbalanced and
And
breaking
because
down?
of the ecosystem being unbalanced, that this might cause a real catastrophe in the earth.
But we just need to just make them. If there's an animal, then we genetically modify it. Then we can just make it so that it's kind of farm animal thing. So like
Yes,
the
wait,
salmon.
Tom, you have good evidence against it?
Farmers don't have to give some kinds of insecticides, and it is not good at the environment. And GM food have longer shelf life, so farmers can bring food to other country or far away. This point is, farmers don't have to give some kind of insecticide.
But that's what
Yeah.
you wrote.
Well, you found it. It's summarized.
So
So
And
farmers aren't using chemicals on their plants.
But and chemicals are more are better than
Worse.
than other than pyramidal destruction.
So you're saying that, like, the animals that eat the crops
Yeah.
might not eat the crops because the crops have changed
And
the structure.
a lot of people think that if they can just not eat this kind of crop and eat other crops, but if the GMFs are really developed, that every single crop that is grown by
Changes.
farmers are all GMFs, then how can you what do you think
That
about
will
that?
surely affect
About-
some
that's-
animals.
That's a futuristic idea because that is kind of impossible because impossible.
Why do you think it's impossible? It's
Well, I
really
think as
possible.
long as
Yeah, it's
as
like
long as
building a wall.
we keep eating it, the animals will keep eating it.
Yeah, and that is how impossible is that it's like building a wall around the world. That's also a futuristic idea, and making every single plant genetically modified is also a kind of like
Lots of people
ridiculous idea.
Lots of people think that think about just those things advantages, so that they can't see the disadvantages, but after time they will see the disadvantages and regret advantages.
Okay, Tom, what is your final argument?
Our final argument is GM food can be good to global warming and grow in tough area.
Growing what?
Tough area.
And so
Tough
they
areas?
grow in
Oh,
tough
growing
areas.
in tough areas?
Yeah, so they grow in tough areas, so to slow down what do you say that?
Global warming? How are they slowing down global warming?
By growing in tough areas.
Yeah, so if there's a plant that kinda what do you say? Eat carbon dioxide, CO2, and breathe. What do you say?
Exhale.
Exhale.
Inhale, exhale.
Exhale oxygen, and he grows in a region called A. Region A is kind of like a soft area, and region B next to it is kind of like a tough area. So they kind of breathe the oxygen. I breathe the CO2 and get out the oxygen. But if we genetically modify it to also make it grow on region B, which is tougher,
Like poor
Yes.
soil.
yeah, so the oxygen level will increase, and the carbon dioxide will decrease.
Basically, you're saying that we will be able to plant crops in places we didn't grow them before,
Yeah.
which is good for our
So
and animals that live there.
as
So the
more
ecosystem.
plants and crops can be grown and at more areas, including those that were previously unsuitable for farming, oxygen in the environment is increased, decreasing the proportion of carbon dioxide, and in turn reducing global warming.
Where does that come from, Tom?
It is come from
Any scientific journal? What is it?
According to what?
in fact British economists. No.
A British economist?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have any argument against that?
Okay, so you say that those tough there you can genetically modify those tough just plants to be tough, grow in
Sure.
tough areas. So that can that
Anything
can
else?
give a negative impact on the environment too.
Well,
So there was a plant that lived in the area A. So and it was the habitat of the plants
yeah.
that lived in area A. And then those tough plants came in and had a really great reproduction ability, that they snatched the A's habitat and made them
This is like some kind of sudden attack by the stronger plant is going to. But I think he's not talking about the stronger plant taking over the world and killing all the weaker plants. Is that what you mean?
But no, but if the
it's like this.
plants grow in the tough like
Places,
places, then
poor soil like mountains.
they will grow well.
And also if they
Their
have lots
DNA
of
is stronger
reproduction,
too.
they have a lot of reproduction ability. So the nutrition of the soil can be all sucked up. That there might be no nutrition that is left, so that they will all die or something.
Drama.
So
Sounds like the end of the world.
And it might take away the nutrition of nearby trees or other plants. That
It's all going to become desert.
it's like this. The other country animals coming into our country and taking over the habitats.
That's animal.
Like that. It's like
Similar,
that.
similar.
Really similar.
Plants and animals can work similar. They're both living organisms.
Okay. And
But
also there are
I
plants
think
too.
that's quite
Plants.
dramatic now.
Yeah, because
It's
it's
there.
like building
There are
all
lots
around
of
the
there are
world.
lots of plants that other country plants that came in and
They-
take away the habitats of our country plants.
That's true.
Yeah, that can be a lot
That's
of
why
problem.
in the airport, the immigration is very strict on what you can bring into the country.
And that can make our plants, our country plants, endangered.
Even animals, you're not allowed to bring animals changing from country to country.
But you don't say reproduction. You just say the availability to grow in that area.
And surely these scientists, I mean, they're smart. They're not going to just make something and just put it anywhere.
Yeah, they're gonna
Right.
put only at that areas.
They're going to check everything's safe, right?
They're scientists.
It's your last
They're
argument.
this.
All previous researches
cannot be trusted because you guys keep hiding it.
No, but there's a.
You
British
don't. You
economist
didn't.
that,
You didn't. The researchers didn't say that those plants
Be
can't
safe.
go to walls or no. They.
Do you think you would be more trusting if the research was more open to the public?
Yeah, but they keep hiding
And
it.
No, they didn't.
everybody would be more happy eating GMFs if we knew exactly what was happening and how they
So
were
you're
affecting our
saying that
bodies.
there's no research to claim that genetically modified foods can slow down the ecosystem.
No, not that. Just they are safe.
Slow down.
There's no evidence that
For our
they are
bodies,
safe to our body or the environment. There's no evidence.
You have no evidence that they are harmful.
It's same. It's
Okay.
the same.
guys, sorry, we have to wrap it up. We only have a minute left.
Okay.
So, can you just summarize, close your final just statement?
You did. You did.
Not just the last sentence,
Yeah.
but what do you want to say about GMFs? Like, because they are happening. So, any final thought?
Okay. So GMFs are. There are no kind of evidence that scientists prove that
It's
GMFs are safe, and GMF we don't know about that, and it's like eating some kind of rock in the moon.
Uh-huh.
We
The
don't know.
motion, genetically modified food should not be allowed to continue until what, Alice?
There is a scientific research that the GM food is safe.
And
Right.
it should be trusted.
Right. And Tom, can you close based on your motion?
Okay, I think genetically modified foods benefit many ways to humans and nature and animals, so it can be continued to produce it and sell
Should
it.
be continued. Okay.
Yay!
Well done. The end.